The U.S. Air Force's B-1 Lancer strategic bombers, popularly dubbed Bones 4 B-1, circles over battlefields in Syria and Afghanistan like birds, releasing GPS-guided bombs from high places. Yet the B-1 started out as an overpriced nuclear bomber that was arguably obsolete by the time it entered service, thus a bomber designed to dodge Soviet surface-to-air missiles. B-1B bomber still answering calls in modern warfare. The B-1B Lancer was originally created to be the primary delivery mechanism for the U.S. nuclear triad in the 1980s should war with Russia ever break out. Instead, after the Cold War, it became a conventional bombing warhorse. The B-1B switched from its nuclear bombing mission in the mid-1990s. 9/11 made him the bomber of choice during the War on Terror. He made up a high percentage of the total munitions dropped after 2001, an era when he punished multiple targets in Iraq and Afghanistan. But the B-1B is showing its age with extensive wear and tear. In 2019, only a handful were airworthy as they were widely used in the conflict. B-1B Multi-Mission Bomb. The B-1B can drop and launch a variety of guided and unguided weaponry. These aircraft are versatile and mostly thrive in high operational tempo environments. It still has the speed and maneuverability to be included as a mainstay in a major joint war plan. The B-1B, known as the Bone, the B-1B will eventually be replaced by the B-21 Raider, but that transition is unlikely to be fully realized for the next 5 years. And there are estimates that some B-1B bombers will be in the fleet for years afterward. The Air Force is reducing the number of B-1Bs. With a 100-jet arsenal at one point, the Air Force sent 17 B-1Bs into retirement in 2021. 3 dozen hit a roadblock in the early 2000s. There are now 4 to 5 aircraft flying out of Ellsworth AFB, South Dakota, and Dice AFB, Texas. A trimmed fleet will allow for better maintenance and an increased supply of spare parts. There was structural wear, fuel tank issues, and problems with the ejection seat, having crinkled readiness. The Air Force hopes to save and reprogram the $10 to $30 million it would spend on keeping the 17 retired bombers flying. Reagan's peace through strengthening program strategy. The B-1B has a long life. Originally flown as the B-1BA in 1974, it was canceled later the decade after 4 were built. The Reagan administration revived the program in response to the Soviet threat. The B-1B, started in 1984, shows its worth. It could fly 900 miles per hour at 60,000 feet, with a range of 7,000 miles. The Air Force ordered 100 bombers, and Boeing started pumping them out. B-1B mission shifted due to arms treaty obligations. The original idea of the B-1B was to fly at low altitude, under the cover of Soviet air defenses, and deliver nuclear weapons. The end of the Cold War changed that mission. President George H.W. Bush ordered $3 billion in reparations, calling for the abolition of nuclear weapon systems. Furthermore, guidelines under the New START Treaty require preventing nuclear weapons pylons from being strapped to bombers. The conversion process was completed in 2011, and Russia has inspected the aircraft annually to make sure the Americans are following the agreement. The bomber had such a large payload that the thinking on its mission set shifted to delivering a wide variety of dumb and laser-guided bombs, cluster munitions, joint direct strike munitions, and combined air-to-surface standoff missiles. It lasts. The B-1B has a synthetic aperture radar that allows it to track moving targets. The aircraft has electronic warfare capabilities that can block incoming bogies, along with chaff and flares that can fool enemy radar-guided missiles and heat seekers. The B-1B has been a valuable aircraft over the past few decades. It has shown admirable service to the Air Force and has set records for aviation. The B-21 stealth bomber is coming in the next few years, but because of the B-1B's versatility and combat history, the Bone will probably be in the fleet even when the B-21 starts flying regularly. It lasts. The B-1B has a synthetic aperture radar that allows it to track moving targets. The aircraft has electronic warfare capabilities that can block incoming bogies, along with chaff and flares that can fool enemy radar-guided missiles and heat seekers. Nicknamed the Bone, the B-1B Lancer is a long-range, multi-mission, supersonic conventional bomber which has served the United States Air Force since 1985. The aircraft is on track to continue flying at current demanding operations tempo out to 2040 and beyond, and Boeing partners with the Air Force to keep the B-1 mission ready. Originally designed for nuclear capabilities, the B-1 switched to an exclusively conventional combat role in the mid-1990s. In 1999, during Operation Allied Force, 6 B-1s flew 2% of the strike missions, yet dropped 20% of the ordnance, and during Operation Enduring Freedom, the B-1 flew on 2% of the sorties while dropping over 40% of the precision weapons. The B-1 has been nearly continuously deployed in combat operations over Afghanistan and Iraq since 2001. B-1B Lancer technical specifications: function long range, multi-role, heavy bomber. Power plant for General Electric F101GE, 102 turbofan engine with afterburner. Thrust 30,000 plus pounds with afterburner per engine. Wingspan 137 ft, 41.8 m. Extended forward 79 ft, 24.1 m. Swept aft, length 146 ft, 44.5 meters. Height 34 ft, 10.4 meters. Weight approximately 190,000 pounds, 86,183 kg. Max takeoff weight 477,000 pounds, 216,634 kg. Fuel capacity 265,274 pounds, 120,326 kg. Payload 75,000 pounds internal, 34,019 kg. 50,000 pounds, 22,679 kg. Speed 900 plus mph. Mach 1.2 at sea level. Range intercontinental. Ceiling more than 30,000 ft, 9,144 m. Crew 4, aircraft commander, co-pilot, and 2 weapon systems officers.